Welcome back on The Pulse. Remember, we are live on digital terrestrial TV because we're free to air. We're also live on GoTV channel 144 and DSTV channel 421. To the rest of our stories, an Electoral Commission says suspending the voter registration exercise now is not an option on the table. The Commission says any move to do so will create a serious constitutional problem. This follows mounting of calls on the EC to suspend the exercise in the wake of the increasing numbers of COVID cases being recorded in the country. The latest call for a suspension is about 200 health professionals who have signed a chilling note to Chairperson of the Commission, Jean Mensah, warning her the continuous registration of voters could lead to thousands of coronavirus deaths and demand an immediate suspension of the exercise. Head of our health desk, Fred Smith, is joining me with details on that statement. Fred, what are the details of that statement?
Well, the health workers, numbering about 200, as you mentioned, they issued an open letter to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. And in this open letter they sent to the EC boss, they had raised concern that with the registration exercise kicking off in about a week's time from that time, they were forecasting that people would not be able to observe the social distancing or the safety measures as announced by the health authorities. And therefore, they wanted the Electoral Commission to reconsider its decision to go ahead with the exercise. And you know, the Electoral Commission went ahead in spite of this warning by the health workers. Now, a week after that exercise, they say there's strong evidence on the ground that people are disregarding the safety protocols as announced by the health professionals. And they are saying that, for instance, there's one case where someone who knew was positive with COVID went to a polling station and decided a registration center and decided to interact with other persons. And we know that person to be Carlos Ahenkra, the Deputy Minister of Trade, who had to resign. This, they say, is inimical to Ghana's fight against COVID-19, and therefore they are asking the Electoral Commission to now suspend the exercise that's ongoing. They also raise concern about the pressure this whole situation is putting on the health systems in Ghana. They say, for instance, a number of their colleagues, and they put this figure in the hundreds, who have contracted the virus so far, and therefore they have been taken off duty, and so there's a shortage of staff. Meanwhile, our isolation centers and treatment centers are all full, and therefore it puts too much pressure on the health systems. They're saying that if they continue with the exercise, this will further worsen, and it will be difficult for us as a country to manage the situation. This is the reason why they're asking the Electoral Commission to immediately suspend the exercise. They give the Electoral Commission chairperson two options mainly. They're saying that she either suspends the process, or the second part, continue with the process and be responsible for the thousands of deaths which they suspect will be lost as a result of a spike in cases in Ghana. And they say all of these deaths literally will be, the blood of these persons will be on the hands of the EC chairperson, Madam Jean Mensah.
Many thanks, Fred. And that was head of our health desk, Fred Smith. Well, Director of Electoral Services, Dr. Sribo Kwaku, says suspending the exercise is not an option available to the Commission now. He spoke on Newsfile.
The issue is that we have discussed the issue of compiling and not compiling, and we are convening beyond every reasonable doubt that we couldn't have used the current register. That's why we are compiling new ones, and the issues have been discussed, and those I don't need to go into that again. We have gone beyond that stage.
And meanwhile, the Director of Training for the Electoral Commission, Michael Boydu, says a little over 2 million Ghanaians registered during the first phase of the voters' registration exercise. In an interview with Maxwell Agbagba at the Red Church Registration Center, Mr. Boydu urged applicants to adhere to the safety protocols.
And we're here at the Red Church Registration Center. What I can say confidently is that This registration center, we've seen some semblance of social distancing and the adherence to the COVID-19 health protocol. Quite different from what we saw sometime last week when we visited the Ododo and the Blekuma South constituency. This is the second phase of the registration exercise, and it has started smoothly here at the Ridge Registration Center. But let's speak to Mr. Michael Boydu, who is the Director of Training for the Electoral Commission.
We have done very well. The turnout has been very impressive, and maybe I would say 85 to 90%. So, yes, but for some places where this social distancing has not been observed, largely the work itself, the technical aspect of the work has been excellent.
But how many people successfully registered in the first phase of the exercise?
Good. We're looking at about 2.2 million.
Wow. Yeah. 2.2 million after the end of the fifth day, or
after the end of the fifth day, it's about 1.8. But considering the fact that every day we get between 350,000 to 400,000, if you add that, because we are yet to add that of the 6th day, we're likely to get 2.2 million for the first phase. And may I even add that out of these 2.2 million, those who registered using the NIA are about 64%.
Wow.
Yes, and those who registered using the guarantees, about 33. Just about 3% use passports. So that's the breakdown. So it means that people really have access to their Ghana card.
An argument that was made for a new voters register was the inclusion of the facial recognition, feature. How is that going?
When the information is taken, it's keyed on the laptop, then your fingerprint is captured using the scanner.
Okay.
Good. After which your photographs will be taken using the camera. That is where the facial recognition takes place.
Okay.
Good. Once we capture you with this camera, your data will be stored on the DVD.
Okay.
The DVD is not here. That's what we're going to use for the election. Good. It will be stored on there. So during election, when you come and you place your finger on the DVD and its face will recognize you, then there's a camera on the DVD. The new one that we are procuring, there's a camera. We take your picture instantly there, and it compares with the picture that we are taking now.
Okay.
It's already on the system. They will match. They will compare. So when there is a match, then it proves that you are the person. Then your identity is guaranteed.